Hey everybody, welcome back. In this video I'm going to show you how to play the classic guitar solo from the Steely Dan song Peg. This one comes off of their Asia album, which was released in 1977, and it featured session guitar player Jay Graydon handling the guitar solo. Now Tim Pierce has a video here on his channel where Jay Graydon performs the solo for Tim and then takes him through kind of like a high-level walkthrough of the solo. It's a really cool video. I'm going to put a link down in my video description where you can go and check that out. Now the regular viewers here are probably not going to be surprised when I say that I found a few little errors in Jay's performance and his walkthrough. So what I'm going to do is, as I'm going through this lesson, I'll make sure to call out those sections where he's playing it a little bit differently from the record, because actually in some cases he's playing it a little bit more simplified, and you might even like that better. So I'll show you both ways and you can decide what works best for you. Now if you're interested in getting a copy of the custom tabs that I'm using in this solo, I'll put information down in the video description there. Also, if you want to get a copy of the awesome backing track here that I'm using from Jam Kazam, you'll find information down below on that too. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play the entire solo for you, this time slowly with the tabs on the screen. That way the more advanced players can get through this more quickly. And after that, for everybody else, I'll break it down note by note. Let's go. Here is section 1. Let's break it up into two boxes, and in the first we play. Now we have some double string bending going on here, and this is not the typical double string bending that you might be used to, like within the context of a blues solo where you're doing like double stops, or bending two notes at once with one finger. That sort of thing. This is different. You're bending two separate strings with two different fingers, and you're bending those amounts up the exact same amount, one step up and back down. I'm gonna give you some tips on how to get comfortable with that. So you're gonna be bending up 6 of B and 7 of G before you hit the note. Okay, you're gonna bend them up both a full step, and then bring it down, up, down, vibrato. Notice I hit the B string first before I hit the G string. It happens pretty quickly. Now, if getting those bends down is challenging for you, because it's not something most guitar players do every day, this kind of bend, what you could do is practice bending knowing where you're taking the bend. So for example, you're taking 6 of B and 7 of G up the equivalent of 2 frets, like this. Okay, so get that note, those two notes in your mind where you're taking it. So try practicing it that way. That way you're knowing where you're going to take the bend, so you have those pitches in your mind. That really helped me get this technique down. So again, here's what we have so far. Now another tip here I have for you is you can try bending it like Jay does. He uses different fingers. I'm bending up the B string with my index finger and the G string with my middle finger. Right? He does it with the middle finger on B and the ring finger on G. That way he can use, it looks like he's using his index finger behind the scenes to help with that B string bend. Okay? It's hard for me to do it that way because I'm so used to now doing it with these other two fingers, but keep that in mind. You can try it with different fingers. And then you're gonna slide your finger up to 12 of G and B without picking it. You're just kind of coming out of that last lick there, bending up a full step, back down vibrato. So here, let me play it again, the first box. Notice I slide up with my index finger, And then when you do that slide up to the 12 of G and B, you're bending up a full step. Well, the G string goes up a full step, the B goes up a little bit less. You know how it goes with double stops. Back down vibrato. Now I also want to call out that when Jay does it and he slides up, he's not sliding up with his index finger barred, he's sliding up with his ring finger barred. That might be easier for you. So experiment with different fingerings. Let's play that first box a few more times slowly. Now in the second box, we play. So once again, you're bending up at 7 of G and 6 of B. There's no pre-bend this time. You're just going to bend up, down, up, down. And then you're going to take those two notes that you're holding and slide them up to 9 of G and B. And then bend up and down. And then those two notes slide up to 16 of G, 15 of B. Add vibrato, slide down. Now let's play that second box a few times. All right, let's tie both boxes together and play section 1 one more time, slowly and then at normal speed. Okay, let's move on to section 2. Here is section 2 at normal and then slow speed. Now I want to call out up front that both of these boxes, when Jay performed it in that Tim Pierce video, he's playing it a little bit differently than he did on the record. And I'll make sure I show you how he does that in just a minute here. But in that first box, we're going to play slowly. So we start with a little string scratch on B, followed by 17 of high E. A lot of people miss that little scratch noise. I'm not sure if it was really intentional. I think, honestly, because of that orange squeezer that Jay was using, it made a little bit of string noise, accidentally hitting the, his finger accidentally hitting the string or the pick. It made it more pronounced. But if you listen closely, you'll hear that. Then we're going to slide from 19 of G down to 12 and then play it again. Notice how I switch fingers when I get down there. Okay, so far. Now, when Jay performs it in Tim's video, he's not sliding from 19 of G to 12. He's sliding from 14 to 12, like. But if you go back and listen to the original carefully, you hear you're sliding from a D note down to G, not an A note. Now, it's possible that what he did was slide down on the B string, like. That's possible too, but I decided to keep it on the G string like Jay did in his performance. Again, here's what we have so far. And then 15 of B, bend up, and then 15 bend up again, back down and pull off to 13. And then right after that 13, very quickly, because you're not going to let that really sound out for very long, you're going to hit 12 on G twice. Add vibrato, little slide down. Let's tie everything together in that first box and play it a few times slowly. Then in the second box, we play slowly. Now in the second box, this is where Jay plays a much more simplified, easier way of playing these notes. I'm going to show you that next, okay? But first, let's get through this. So it's 10 on G, and then 12, pull off to 10, slide to 7, okay? 10, 12, 10, 7. And then 9 on G, 10, pull off to 9, slide down, and then 5. You're not sliding from 9 to 5, you're just sliding down a little bit and then hitting 5. And you know what? The reason I figured out all these little slides were in there is listening to the isolated guitar track. You can find it here posted on YouTube. That became my guide. Taking that and putting it in my audio editing software and slowing it down, I could hear every little nuance in the phrase, or every little nuance in every little phrase, and that really helped me pick out what was going on here. Let's play what we have so far in the second box slowly. And then we're going to stay on the G string, 7, 9, pull off to 7, slide to 5. 7, 9, 7, 5. But when you slide down to 5, you're going to hit 5 when you get there. Another little nuance in the playing that I heard when I slowed it down. And then 7 on G, 3, slide to 4. And now we're going to switch to the D string. 5, add vibrato, slide to 4 to 3. And you pick the 3 note. So yeah, you kind of drag across 4 a little bit. A lot of times people miss that. Okay, let's play that second box a few times slowly, and then I'll show you Jay's simplified way of playing it. Okay, now for Jay's simplified version of box 2. And you might want to play it this way because it's certainly easier. It's very tempting to play it this way, but the regulars here know that I can't do that. I got to show you the right way. And again, it's listening to that isolated guitar track that you can find here on YouTube and slowing it down is where I picked out all the slides that happened. All right, here's the simplified version. Let's play it even slower. So you can see the very end's slightly different. He's sliding down from this note, whereas when I slide down from there, I'm dragging across 4 and then picking 3. Subtle differences, all right? Either way, you should be fine. All right, let's tie both boxes together and play section 2 one more time, slowly and then at normal speed. All right, let's move on to section 3. Here is section 3 at normal and then slow speed. Let's break it up into 2 boxes, and in the first we play slowly. Now if that phrasing seems a little odd to you, like there's something missing, keep in mind right before this, the last note in the last section was the 3rd fret of the D string. If I add that to the first box, it sounds like this. Right? So keep that in mind. All right, so we're going to play 2nd of G pull off to open, and then 5 of D. And then 4 of G pull off to open. So far in the first box. And then 5 of D, quickly slide to 7, and then 5 of G. Then in the second box, we play slowly. So it's 8 of D, and then 6 of G, pull off to 0. And then 9 of D, 7G, pull off to 0. 10 of D, 9G, pull off to 0. 12D, 10G. Let's tie both boxes together and play section 3 one more time, slowly and then at normal speed. Okay, let's move on to section 4. Here's section 4 at normal and then slow speed. Let's break it up into 2 boxes, and in the first we play slowly. Now this first box is the last part that I'm going to call out from Jay's performance, and I'll show you how he plays it in that video in just a minute. I'll show you how Tim played it too, because Tim played it slightly different. All right, so we're going to play 11 on G, hammer to 14, pull off to 11, and then 14 of D. Right? And then after that, we're going to play 12B, 14G, 12B, 14B, pull off to 12, 14B, 12E, 14B, 12E. Now after you play the first 4 notes, it's like the rest of it is tied together in little groups of 3. Okay, slowly that first box, a few times. Then in the second box, we play, so it's 14 of high E, bend up a half step, hold it for a little bit, bring it down, bend back up, back down. Now let's go back to box 1, and I'll show you how Jay performed it in Tim's video. Slowly. You can see it's got the same cadence, right? Same number of notes, he's just playing it slightly differently. And when I heard Jay play that in Tim's video, I thought, am I hearing things wrong? So I went back again to the isolated guitar tracks, and I could clearly hear the other notes that I've tabbed for you previously. And if you play along to the original, try both ways, you're gonna hear what I'm saying. Okay, but either way, you should be fine if you want to play it his way. Oh, and then when Tim was playing it back for Jay, Tim played it slightly different. He went like this. Right, so he swaps one of the notes out from what Tim had done, from what Jay had done. Honestly, I think that sounds really good. If I was just putting together the solo today, and I had to choose between the 3 methods, I actually like the one that Tim did. To me, it sounds the best within the context of the solo, but that's not how it was originally played. So again, go back and try it all 3 ways, and you can decide for yourself. Okay, let's tie both boxes together and play section 4 one more time, slowly and then at normal speed. Okay, let's move on to section 5, the final section. Here is section 5 at normal and then slow speed. Let's break this up into 3 boxes, and in the first we play slowly. So it's 14 of G, bend up a full step, and then 14 again. It sounds to my ear like it's slightly flat of a full step, but either way you should be fine. Then pull off to 12. So far. And then 14D, 12G, 14 of G, pull off to 12, 14 of D. Let's tie everything together and play that first box a few times slowly. Then in the second box, we play slowly. So it's 12 of G and then 12 of D, slide to 10. And then 12 of G, 10D, slide to 9. 12 of G, 9D, slide to 7. So you're kind of pivoting off of that 12 of G. Let's play that second box a few times slowly. Then in the third and final box, we play slowly. So we're going to start with 10 of G. You're going to bend it up a full step, hold it for a bit, bring it down, pull off to 7, slide to 9. And then you're going to hit 9 again, quickly slide to 7. You don't want to linger on the 9, you're going to quickly move out of it. Here's what we have so far in that third box. And then second of G, hold it for a tiny bit, bend up and down, slide to 4. Let's play that third box a few times slowly. Now we're going to tie all three boxes together and play section 5 one more time, slowly and then at normal speed. Alright, that was my lesson on how to play the guitar solo from the classic Steely Dan song, Peg. If you found it helpful or informative, I would appreciate a thumbs up. And please hit that subscribe button if you want to catch more content like this in the future. And again, if you have any questions or comments, leave those down below and I will attempt to answer them as time allows. Until next time, rock on.